Hi students, this is Mr. Cohen. Actually, no, that's Boris, my old dog. Um, now I have Pablo, so let's say goodbye to Boris for now. You might hear Pablo snorting in the background. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the geography challenge sheet that I gave to you. On the one side, you have the questions, and you also had a map that you can work with, and you have the spaces on the other sheet that look like this. Um, just make sure you put them in the correct order, and we'll see that the questions are going from left to right, back over to left to right, and so on, zigzagging down the sheet. Now, to answer these questions, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go into our Canvas modules, and let's go into the correct one. And we'd scroll down to the Age of Exploration module, and then we will see H Alive Age of Exploration map. And I've put the page numbers there as well if ever you had access to the hard copy. The page numbers are scanned in at the bottom. They are included at the bottom of the page too. After we've worked on the map, we will be doing reading sometime at a later date. This is the rest of the chapter just below. So you might want to do a Control F and just, I don't know, we could do Control F Alive. That might be useful. And Age of Exploration map. Make sure you've got your Age of Exploration module open. So we'll click on the map. I'm going to download it and then make it a little bit bigger so you can see about 75%. And we get some background here setting the stage. It talks about, well, actually, it makes connections to some of the units we've already explored in class. For example, it talks about the Renaissance and how Italy have become wealthy through trade with the East, with traders in the Muslim world who were in contact with the Indies further to their east. And Italy was doing very well through the Renaissance. The trade had helped fuel the Renaissance, the wealth created by the trade. And also we get some background here about how the Renaissance had also increased the knowledge of Europeans when it came to mathematics, science, as well as the arts, obviously. And this also helped them with their exploring. At a later date, around the 1500s, between 1500 and 1700, we see that scientists that we learned about, like Isaac Newton, also increased our knowledge of our natural world, and it led to rapid progress in many fields, including astronomy and exploration, navigation, and so on. So let's see. Let's go back to our first question. So let me just move this out of the way. And first question asks, which explorer was the first to establish a sea route to Asia, and for which European country did he sail? So let's go and take a look again at this map. Well, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to look at the key. The key is very important for us. Let's just get this size a little bit better. You guys should also be zooming in so that you can see things very clearly. Well, to answer these questions, it's very important that you take a look at the key. Not just the key, things like the title, European Exploration and Land Claims between 1488 and 1610. We see there are several arrows heading in and out of European nations. We see that Portugal is a red arrow, and Spain is a purple arrow, and then followed by England's voyages, which are shown as green, France's, which are shown as brown, and then the Netherlands voyages, which are shown as like just a slightly different colour red. I wish they'd done a better colour of that red, maybe a kind of purpley red, for want of a better word. But we also see on the arrows that there are dates for these explorers. It's very important that you look at the dates. Also, you see the lands that were lands that were actually colonized by Europeans, and the colours will correspond with the colours shown in the key. So, for example, we'll see that Columbus, he leaves from Portugal, and we see, from Spain, and we see that his arrows are purple, and lands that were colonized by the Spanish are also coloured purple. Portugal's voyages are shown in red, and we see the names of those explorers on those arrows. And we see the lands that were colonized by the Portuguese are shown in the same colour. The British you will see come later, exploring with people like Henry Hudson and John Cabot. What is interesting as well is that you will find that some of these explorers are not exploring for their countries of birth. You've got 2 Italians that are exploring for other countries that aren't Italy on here. And you've got an Englishman that sometimes explores for England, but sometimes explores for the Netherlands. So, getting back to your questions, which explorer was the first to establish a sea route to Asia? Well, we notice here's the map of Asia. We see Asia over here. Asia would include this area. And for which European country did he sail? And so you would be looking to see the colour of the arrow and matching it with the colour of the arrow in here. The next question, question 2. Which explorer was the first to sail to the east coast of South America? So when we look at South America, remember, never eat soggy waffles. You'd be looking at the dates and the colour of the arrows and the names on those arrows too. Now for both of these questions, you're going to also correctly colour to trace the route of this voyage. So you would draw on this map the arrows and the colour for that voyage. Label it with the explorer's name and the year of the voyage. Those can be found on the map. Likewise, you'll be using this map when you're asked to colour a map. You'll trace the route of this entire voyage for this explorer and label it with the name of the explorer and the years of the voyage. Question 3. By 1600, on which continents did Portugal claim or control territory or cities? So you'd be looking at the colour representing Portugal's colonies, lands that they'd claimed, and you'd answer it. Again, the answers go on here. It'll be for question 3. Don't forget to colour the map as directed for question 3, the areas claimed by Portugal. Then question 4. Which explorer was the first to sail to what are today the Caribbean islands? And so you'd look on the map here for the Caribbean islands. Well, I'm going to help you. The Caribbean islands are down here. It's the Caribbean Sea in this area. For which European country did that explorer sail? So which country was sending him out to explore? Once you've answered that on this sheet, you'll then need to use the correct colour to trace the route of this voyage. Label it with the explorer's name and the years of the voyage. That would go on this sheet. Question 5. Which explorer was the first to lead a voyage that eventually went around the world? For which European country did he sail? Now, that explorer didn't make it himself, but his crew definitely did. You'd have to look at the map for an explorer's line or arrows that indicate he's circumnavigating the world, he's going all the way around the world. And then you'd use the correct colour to trace the route on this map showing his entire voyage. Label it with the explorer's name and the year or years of his voyage, or at least his crew's voyage. Question 6. Which country had explorers who led expeditions into the lands of the Aztecs and Incas in North and South America? Who were these explorers? So we see the lands of the Aztecs and the Incas. We see them in this region here, and the Incas in this region here. So the Aztecs over here and the Incas over here. Use the correct colour to trace the route of these expeditions and label them with the explorers' names and the years on your map here. Question 7. By 1600, on which continents did Spain claim territory? So again, you're going to have to look at the dates with the explorers' names that are there by the 1600s. And use the correct colours to shade and label those areas claimed by Spain. Question 8. I don't know if you can hear Pablo snoring in the background, by the way. I'm sorry about that. Question 8. Which European countries during this period sent explorers to North America's east coast? So, North America, never eat soggy waffles. Which explorers are arriving on North America's east coast during this period? Name 3 of them. So you put your 3 explorers in the space here, and then use the correct colour to trace the route of these voyages across Europe to North America on this map. Don't forget to include their names and the years of their voyage. Okay, students, thank you very much for your attention. This assignment, you'll have 3 days working on this assignment, and just keep checking the announcements. Bye for now. Have a good day.